Time for an update on the Cadillac XLR. Let's get started. So for those of you who haven't been following along, this is a 2004 Cadillac XLR. It's actually my car, and it's been through a lot lately. I've actually got a few comments through a Facebook page or different places where people said, hey, what's up with the XLR? How did it turn out? Well, today we're going to find out. It turned out very well. If you haven't been following along, go check out some of the previous videos on this car. We actually split it in half. We have NORTHSTAR Performance head studs and main studs that came from Jake at NORTHSTAR Performance. And also the engine was a very low mile engine from J&J Auto Wrecking in Marshallville, Ohio, which the links to both of those places will be in the description below. This will be the final shout out for those guys because the project is complete, the engine is running, it is very, very happy. I've been driving it for a while and I've actually noticed more power. I don't know why, maybe the old engine, something with the mass airflow sensor or something with the throttle body, or I don't know what it was, but this thing really moves now. I don't understand it, but I'm happy with the results. I'm definitely happy with the results. Let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air and take a look. Is it dry underneath? There was a lot of effort that went into resealing everything with the GM gray sealant and upgraded gaskets and seals and everything. Let's find out, was it worth it? Because we all know NORTHSTARs leak oil all the time. Let's see if this one does now. Before we get started looking underneath the car, I've actually had several people wonder, what does this mean? I actually had someone in public ask me one time if it was a satanic reference. No, it is not. It is the official flag of Blackbeard the Pirate. I'm sure you could see similar things on Pirates of the Caribbean. There's pirate flags with skulls and crossbones. This is the flag that he had on his ship. That's all it is. It's nothing crazy. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look underneath. Did it pay off to reseal everything like I did? So here we have the front of the engine. We can see around the harmonic balancer is all dry. Everything around the belts is dry. The water pump is dry. Thermostat housing. Everything is perfectly dry. Very, very happy with that. Let's move on back to the oil pan area. I have the oil thing disconnected and bypassed because I really don't like those things. I like to check the oil myself. I don't want some things blaring at me all the time. But here is the oil pan. You can see all the way around and all the way up there, even on the secondary, or the cradle you should say, those black bolts up there. Dry as a bone, not a drop. I've put about 500 miles on this thing. If there was going to be some leaks, we would be seeing them by now. Same on this side, not a drop. We can see the gasket was also double gasketed, if you want to call it that way, with gray silicone, or double sealed I should say. You could actually see the silicone pooching out around the edges. That is the correct way to reseal these NORTHSTARs. So let's check the back of the oil pan and where the rear main seal area is. You can see everything is nice and dry in there as well. Everything's dry all around here. Leaks have been solved on this vehicle permanently. Okay, so since we had everything down, you remember in that video, if you haven't watched it, you should. We had the entire powertrain out all the way to the transmission. Everything was down. So let's go back there and make sure we're dry back there as well. Here's our transmission oil pan, nice and dry. Before I fixed this engine, all this stuff was coated in oil from the old engine. Here are the rear differential, also no leaks going on there. And there is the mufflers. I did modify them a little bit for a little bit better sound, but I think they could be a little louder. They're still too quiet. Well, no leaks front to back, nowhere. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the ground. So before we sign off being done with the engine part of this car, let's go ahead and take one last look under the hood. I do have the plastic cover off, and I like to leave it off because I like the way the engine looks. I don't want it looking like a piece of aluminum block or something, a toy, a plastic toy. Leak-free up top as well. Everything's going well. It's nice to know underneath those black valve covers is NORTHSTAR Performance head studs. It will not blow a head gasket. That is not even going to be in the equation or on the menu for this engine for the rest of its life. I did put a new throttle body, you can see, and a new airflow sensor. It is doing very, very well. So the next phase of this project, now that we're done with the engine, we're done with all that, it was a success, is the convertible top. When I bought this car, it wouldn't function, it wouldn't work, it wouldn't do anything, even though the trunk would work. And it had fluid, everything was happy. And I was just worried something major was wrong. I tried my Autel tool, a launch tool, several different scan tools. I borrowed tools from other mechanics or shop owners, friends I know. Nothing would talk to the convertible top module. I finally did some research online. There is no scan tool that will talk to it and calibrate it, except for the GM Tech 2. Actually went on eBay and bought this. This looks like a Game Boy. It looks like archaic, yesterday's technology. But it is the only way to do anything with a convertible top on these XLR cars. Without this tool, forget it. It's not happening. There is no way around it. There's no cheap way. But you can get the Chinese clones of these for like $400 or $500. And that's what I did here. And it did the job. It got it working. Everything came alive. It calibrated it. It just needed to be reprogrammed or recalibrated. But in doing so, I only found out that now I have leaks. Let's go take a look at that. I knew the convertible top module wasn't dead, because if it was, I wouldn't be able to open my trunk, because that's part of the operation of the convertible top working. When I click the button, it works. Boom, boom, it's making weird noises. Anyways, there's nothing wrong with it. I got these panels off in here and we can take a look. So you can see a cylinder right there where the laser pointer is, and it goes all the way back there. And when I operate the top, it pours fluid. You can see wet all through here. And it drains out the bottom of the car. It literally just pours the fluid out. Same with the other side as well. So as long as I keep the fluid in it, the top works flawlessly. I'm so happy about that. There could be so many things wrong with this thing to keep it from working. These do have problems with water leakage from rain or car washes or whatnot, with some of the weather stripping and seals actually around here going bad. I have it all apart right now because I was working on it. But all down in there is our pump, and right next to it is our convertible top module. And there's some other modules down here as well. And this can actually fill with water in here. This whole cavity can be completely filled to the top with water. So this is bad design as far as the weather stripping to allow rain to come in and just wreck the modules and things. There was a little water in there when I bought the car, and I thought, oh no, these things are ruined. But I crossed my fingers and they're not ruined. I'm so happy. Like I mentioned, as long as I keep the fluid in, it runs right back out. But the top will go down and up, and it's beautiful, it works great. So all I need to do is pull those cylinders off and have them rebuilt or get some new ones or figure out what I'm going to do with that. I'll also check all the other cylinders to make sure they're not leaking. But I'm very happy that it's just a leak. I can get the thing fixed. By the time I'm finished going through all this car and getting everything done, I'll have a fully functional XLR that is at 100%. So there's a lot of them out there that aren't. Let's go ahead and take a look around the car. I've got another thing I ordered for this car. These are Pirelli tires. They are called Centenados or something like that. Centerados. That's what was on the car when I got it. And I got them balanced, and they still have some road noise, and I've got to really look in close, and there's lots of weather cracking and things. Then I looked at the date, 19th week of 2014. So these tires are 9 years old. They're getting to where they're the end of life. I've actually got some Michelin pilots ordered for this, and as soon as they come in, I'll get those installed. It should take care of my road noise, and these things are old. They need to come off of here anyways. So that's the next thing I have ordered for this. So I mentioned with the exhaust that it's a little louder, but I'd like it to be a little bit more sporty than it is. And I have these knockoff Flowmasters. They're very similar to a 40 series. I've actually bought these and put them on several other cars. They're like only 30 or 40 bucks, and they sound amazing. They last a long time. They do a good job. I don't have to spend 400 bucks on mufflers. I can spend 80. So I'm going to take these to my exhaust shop guys. Actually, his name's Dave. Dave's Muffler here in Newton. And have him put these on my XLR. So I've got the top to fix, some tires, and the exhaust, and this thing will be 100% done. I can't wait for that day to come. But until then, I think this thing has been in the shop long enough. It's been sitting on a lift for weeks and weeks and weeks. I don't even want it on the lift anymore. I just want to go cruise this thing. It cruises so nice. So make sure to hit our Amazon affiliates page in the link below. You can go check it out. That's a lot of the tools there is listed that we use in the shop. We get a small cut and really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because there's many more cool videos to come. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.